Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Conclave. I call the Conclave to order. Order, you bastards. Shit. When I hit the desk, Skype's UI popped back up because the mouse moved. Anyway, guys. What's it? It's like episode 3, and then we got episode 4 next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 3 of Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I'm not on top of my game. I woke up, took the dogs for a walk, came back, realised it was Monday, and then sort of only realised that Game of Thrones was on after I watched episode 4's preview. I saw it on the trending tab of YouTube, and I was like, episode 4? Oh, shit, it's Monday! Right, yeah, it's Monday. Game of Thrones, right, yeah. Anyway, the first order of business is Jon and Tyrion meeting, which I would have cut that speech down to Tyrion just going, bastard, and then Jon going, dwarf. Rather than the, what was it? It's the bastard of Winterfell, and then him going, the dwarf of Casterly Rock. I'm like, we should have just been bastard, dwarf, and then they smirk and then they shake hands. But
That's nitpicking to an extent.
yeah, nitpicking. You should see my notes. It's all nitpicking. That live up to the rest of you guys hype for that because I wanted to see Tyrion and Jon.
I enjoyed it.
Yes, I really was happy, and then I wasn't happy like 2 minutes later, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, like two seconds later, I was irritated when Jon handed over Longclaw just like it was nothing.
Yeah,
you know, the sword that he promised he'd never lose to.
The only thing I would have liked to see different is him look at the Dothraki guy and go no, and then just hand it to Tyrion.
Yeah,
like,
at the very least,
between each other.
I'd have wanted him to take it off his belt and hand it to Tyrion. But he just gives it to some random Dothraki. You know, the sword that he gave to Sam when he fucked off towards Mance. You know, if he was going to give the sword to anybody, it should have been just giving it to Tyrion. There, I'm nitpicking there. The next bit, on the way up to Dragonstone over the weird bridge sort of thing, which, by the way, attacking Dragonstone is going to be a bitch with that bridge. You're never going to get an army up that thing.
Is it just me, or does Dragonstone seem way larger than like I imagined it to be?
I don't think it's described as having that causeway bit that large.
But no, but like in general, like the island itself, like the later scenes where you see like the coast and stuff, and even this same scene where it goes to Melisandre and Varys, you see the massive coastline.
I think Book Dragonstone is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Because it's a volcanic island. It's just like a volcano, and then, you know.
Yeah, well, Dragonstone's built into the volcano where, from what you can tell from the map, they've put the volcano somewhere else, and then...
Yeah, well, it's got a small village at the base of it as well, of Dragonstone itself, but, you know, the next thing when they're going up that windy-ass fucking road is, Jon goes, what's something along the lines of, it's not safe for Starks down the south, and then Jon typically replies, I'm not a Stark, and then woof, giant dragon swoops over him. And if not,
which was cool.
Subtle, well, it's some subtle fucking foreshadowing there if we didn't already know that he was a Targaryen. I'm not a Stark, and then cue the dragon swooping over him.
Yeah, which gets ridiculously close to him, but...
Yeah, which swoops right over him the moment he says he isn't a Stark, so that's distinct.
You remember the sound Grand Maester Pycelle made when Gregor Clegane came into the meeting at the Small Council last season? A little fart, that toot. Yeah. I'd have loved that to be. They reused that sound effect when Jon faced Davos and.
Just like it'd be the change of clothes. Yes. All right, and then you got into the throne room with Dany and everybody, and as usual, we listed off the various titles of Daenerys Targaryen. At some point, I really wish that Jon would have just gone, okay, yeah, stop with the pomp and fucking bloody...
Yeah, I really wanted him to say, just stop. Just
okay, that's enough. Let's get to the point. You know, very northernish, like, enough with the bloody courtesy bollocks. But, I don't know. I constantly
They kind of did that.
I constantly want Jon to be more forward. More fucking ballsy, but, yeah.
Like, even when he was encouraging Davos to say his things, he didn't say anything, he just kind of looked at him.
Yeah, Davos goes, it's Jon Snow. Yeah. Bastard.
He's the king of the north.
King of the north, yeah, king of the north.
My friends just burst out in laughter at that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best things in that episode.
Yeah, the long pause between is Jon Snow, and he realised, I should probably say something else.
Yeah.
But he made up for it with his whole rant about Jon, what he's done and stuff.
Yeah, with the
and
subtle...
He took a dagger through the heart, and then Jon just go, what the...
Yeah, they already think we're crazy. They already think we're crazy.
Don't tell them I fucking died!
Yeah. It was very reminiscent of Davos sort of laying down the law for the Iron Bank when he went with Stannis.
Yeah.
And they were saying him no, and then he just sort of went into one of his speeches and sort of grabbed their attention.
It's like he has no courtesy. He like gets straight to the point.
Yeah. Well, he's a low-born smuggler, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, even John was like that though, or just didn't give a fuck. Just like he was being a problem. That's how I imagined Rickard Stark and Brandon Stark acting, just rather than even Ed to an extent, where it's just like, oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just, your dad burnt my fucking family. Yeah. We fucking removed you for a reason.
She went into a monologue about all the oaths that you owe and all that bollocks, your broken faith, blah blah blah. And then
I hated that monologue.
It went on for so long, and John took way too long to respond with the "you burnt my fucking relatives, you broke faith" at that fucking point.
I did like the thing where he's like, and then she was like, "Don't judge me for the actions of my father," and he's like, "Then don't expect me to fulfill my ancestors' oaths if you don't want me to judge you for your father's actions."
She brought up Ned knowing about Robert's assassins as well, and I immediately thought, why didn't Varys say anything? But he did show up afterwards. He wasn't in the room at the time.
Yeah.
So you might bring
Ned
that up.
didn't know shit, and Ned tried to stop them when he did know shit.
Yeah, he was the only one that spoke out against it, and Barristan would. Well, Barristan should have been there to tell her, but
Selmy did tell her. Or was it just the books?
I wasn't. I assume the show that he didn't tell her, but I know he did in the books. He definitely did. And the books, I definitely
tell her what.
That Ned was the only one that spoke out against.
No, I think all he said was that like Robert has been sending assassins after her.
She already knew that.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think he actually in the show. At least I don't think he said anything more.
No, I assume he must have not told him in the show, but in the books, yeah, I think she did.
Long with Barristan.
I'm pretty sure in the books that like Selmy was just saying, well, the people that you think are our enemies, not necessarily your enemies.
Yeah. The whole speech in the monologue from Dany, I can't take her seriously when she tries to be. It's like with the "I'm going to break the wheel" bit, and I just cringe a little.
I also love in this whole monologue. It just leads to, "So I'm expecting you've come here to bend." He's like, no,
and then
no, I didn't come here to bend.
After all the monologue and all the "I'm the powerful bitch," and then Varys just comes in and goes, "Shut the fuck up, we need him." And then she goes, "Excuse my manners. Yes, have a room." But it turns out I'm going to need you later and basically beg you on the beach to join me.
Yeah. But there was also, whenever they did mention the White Walkers, like Dany and that lot just didn't believe him. They thought he was crazy.
Yeah. After the speech, we had Theon being fished up out of the sea by his men.
Oh yeah, I forgot that scene even happened.
Yeah,
I do like the fact that they fucking put him in his place.
They despise him.
He tried to claim that he helped as well.
Well, he knew. Well, if he said the truth, he was fucked.
Oh yeah, well
you can't blame him for lying.
They knew
well, I still feel like he's gonna step up for the respect of the Ironborn. I think he'll become king of the Iron Isles.
I think he'll earn it. Yeah.
After beating John, but yeah.
Well, yeah, he's gonna get his ass kicked by John when he shows up, but. He goes, you wouldn't be here if you tried, and then they walk off, and he sits there like a fucking fish out of water. And we got the scene with Euron escorting his gifts to through the streets of King's Landing, sort of soaking in the praise.
I was worried about that being a bit too cheesy, but I
loved it.
Fucking perfect.
It was awesome.
Yeah. He's living up to the fucking name of the character.
Last episode and this episode, I continue to enjoy him.
They've made Euron so good.
Yeah.
Liam's two favorite lines in the entire Game of Thrones series happened in like a 5-minute span.
Yeah. Well, it's the bit where she taunts Asha. I've actually got it written for her book name and not Yara.
Fuck off! Fuck off! Busy.
Yeah, he taunts him about Theon and he goes, "Oh no!" And then he goes, "What a twat."
Yes. What a twat. I just loved when he said that. It's like, he's English. Love it.
Yeah. Then he gets into the hall, hands over the person that murdered Marcella, the sand snake bitch, which
Elia Sands, Obara,
and her bitch.
Yeah, rather.
The only good sand snake's a dead sand snake. We don't care about them.
But he keeps Asha / Yara. Yeah,
he keeps Yara from himself, which is interesting. Probably going to make a spectacle of her or something.
And then he has the best line in the entire show to Jamie.
Yeah,
asking about her sexual preferences.
Asking about sexual preferences. Finger off the bum? Yes, no. We'll talk about it later.
He's such a cunt. I love it.
Yeah, he's awesome. I do. Literally, my next note is dead sand snakes. Only good one is a dead one.
Only one dead sand snake.
Titans?
Well, they're all dead.
Yeah, but Ilaria's meant to live or lives the entire time.
Snake.
What do you think was going to happen there? Because I was thinking just the classic get Clegane to rape.
I was fully expecting Gregor just to grab Obara and smash her head against.
Oh no! I was with Cersei. She's going to mimic the crime.
Yeah,
it
made sense when she moved to do it.
With Elena Tyrell, like I was expecting a bit different, but
no.
I think it's just suitably evil for Cersei. But also, it's justice, really.
Oh yeah, I shed no tears over those bitches. Fuck them.
Yeah, you're a cunt. How dare you fucking kill Marcella?
Tyene was hot though.
And we've got
Which one was Tyene?
I think this one was Tyene, right?
No, it was
one's
Obara, wasn't it? Or was it
Obara? Obara's the one of the spear.
Oh, right.
Tyene's the one of the daggers.
Yeah. After that bit, you got the Cersei, the clip of Cersei promising the Iron Bank the money they need.
Oh yeah, and then Twincest.
Yeah, that book wise, that kind of shit annoyed me because Cersei's so against fucking paying the Iron Bank. It was just like, right, and then you go, right, okay, well, it kind of makes sense why they'd go for High Garden as well. Like, well, we said that was going to happen anyway this episode, but it just
it's all very fan fiction-y.
It's just I didn't want to see because now I know I've got pretty sure what fucking is going to happen now with Cersei and the Iron Bank and the deals they're going to make, and
we go into that.
Actually,
interesting.
It actually makes me quite concerned about what's actually going to happen to Dany because she's
fucked up at this point. How many setbacks has she had?
Well, she's still got the majority of her Unsullied, I imagine. Not as many would have died.
Fucked.
But
yeah, but they're stuck at Casterly Rock.
Yeah.
But then she's still got a Dothraki horde, which is still one of the largest standing forces in Westeros.
All of her chips are in fighting them with the Dothraki. Which in the Reach, she's got a great advantage. But we'll come back to the Iron Bank later because Para's got an interesting little idea about that. Afterwards is Tyrion on the cliff, which when I was rewatching it, I completely forgot this was even a thing. He just walks up to the cliff where Jon's standing and he goes, "I came here to brood about the failing to predict the Greyjoy attack. You're making it difficult. You look much better brooding."
Just classic Tyrion.
Yeah,
loved it. That entire scene was great between them.
Yes, it was.
They're really great with each other, though.
Yeah,
I still like. With the battle tactics and stuff, like Tyrion's kind of smart with how he takes the rock and everything, but it's obviously not that smart. Like you would have sent out spies and did some research if the rock is worth taking.
Yeah.
But where his forte is, like talking to other lords and kings and all that kind of stuff, and he's going, well, what can I do for you? Like rather than asking
I liked him like kicking himself for fucking up over the Greyjoy. Like where it was like I can't remember what he exactly said, but like I hate the fact that I didn't think about the Greyjoy attack.
Yeah, I came here to brood about failing to predict the Greyjoy attack.
Yeah, it's like that's good. It's like going over the fact that he is not the military genius or whatever.
Yeah,
but at least he seemed like
that gives the opening for Jon and Daenerys' relationship to be better, where Daenerys might just go, "Well, you're obviously a military guy."
And I want to fuck you.
You're a tactician, and I want a bit of cock.
You're also my nephew. We're Targaryens.
What's the advice would you give to me as King of the North and as a military commander of what to do now? Because she's going to keep requesting Jon to send his army south, and he's just going to go, no, not happening.
Yeah.
And with the North, everyone's got to remember the North is also including the Vale, because the Vale's connected to the Kingdom of the North in the show at least. So. She has no army. Dawn's cut off, Reach's cut off. She's only got a Dothraki. The Unsullied are by themselves for now. So
she's fallen very much into what Stannis is. It's almost reminiscent of what Stannis is after the Blackwater.
So she has to have a tactical plan, and I think Jon will be the one that will just go, well, do this, and that's where it's going to go off.
Yeah. That leads into after Tyrion's meeting, everything is Dany giving Jon the dragon glass.
I did like the dialogue between Danny and John that time, the second meeting, when it wasn't like all the theatrics.
Well, they can't just fuck on the first meeting, Luke. There's got to be a bit of give and take, man.
No, that's what I mean. I like this.
It's not realistic if they instantly fall into bed, man. Seriously.
One thing I didn't like about the second one is how incredibly obvious it is that Danny has got the hots for John.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the way she looks at him, she wants to fuck him. But like he doesn't seem like he's concerned. He's more worried about the fucking zombies in the north.
John's going to be completely
if I ever met Kit Harington, I'd probably look at him in the same way.
Like, how does the hair even work?
How does it work?
Ask your grit.
Please, for the love of God, by no mere coincidence, watch this, Kit Harington.
On top of that, I think them two have just got the actress. They just got engaged.
Did they?
So winning. I so fucking love that.
Yeah. Moving on from that, there's this next thing which again might be nitpicking. Sansa walking through Winterfell, acting like she owns the place, which I didn't distinctively mind. But then she mentioned about sending grain and wheat and shit from other people's keeps to Winterfell so that everyone could flee to Winterfell.
No, but that's a general tactic of any medieval warfare.
I'm just thinking, how many lords are going to tell her to go fuck herself?
I don't think any. I think
the idea of the scene is to make Sansa seem like a viable alternative to Jon. Like, she's actually good at leadership.
But she's not.
I wouldn't say good.
But she is in this scene.
She's like, they did such a small thing that I really fucking appreciate. Like, looking at this plate armor and going to Jon Royce, go, why the fuck ain't there leather on this?
Yeah, that was good.
It's just like and then talking about the grain, and then talking about like just.
In Westeros, women they're taught to manage a household. Sansa knows how to manage a household. She knows this thing. She does know this thing. So they're all noble daughters are brought up with that kind of know-how. Mm-hmm. So it's not surprising for me in the least that she can run Winterfell. Probably better than Jon, frankly, because Jon was never trained in. Was he in the books? Trained alongside? Did he go to all the lessons and stuff with Rob?
Yeah, he was trained alongside Rob and Theon. About how to about military.
Not necessarily the because that
it goes into quite a lot.
He wouldn't have had the same training in being a lord as Rob had. Rob would have had more extensive training.
He probably would have had
No. They went quite extensively in one of the books where John's reminiscing of Winterfell. I think it's Dance of Dragons. About how he trained as much, if not more, as Rob with Roderick Cassell, and how Rob and him would practice, being because Eddard used to say it's all about being a commander. It's not really about being a fighter. It's about being a commander, being able to command the men. So they would sit on the towers of Winterfell and shout at each other to improve their sort of battle voices and stuff. They trained ridiculously hard, as well as researched a lot of military campaigns and stuff and battles. That's why Rob was so successful, and Jon got the exact same training.
Yeah, but as far as military-wise and all that stuff, Sansa would run a household better than him. All noble daughters were taught how to run a basic, all that kind of stuff. They were expected to. When they got buggered off and got married, they're the ones that run the household. They're the ones that run the staff. Well,
she was expected to be queen. So
that as well. But she was the eldest daughter of a great house. She knows how to run a household. That's not surprising to me in the least. I'm just wondering whether or not how complacent the lords are going to be when the stand-in lady of Winterfell asks them to hand over food during the long night and the.
I don't think it's same with any political case, any era of the real world. It's not a problem until people start starving, and when people start starving, that's when they start rioting.
It's just a matter of how much fear has Jon sowed into them from all of the lords being prepared and concerned about the White Walkers. How many of them are going to go, I can't afford to give you all of this?
It's as well as the general kind of idea about what Eddard used. It was like, you obeyed the law, otherwise Winterfell would come down on you, and every lord knew that. They liked him, they respected him.
Yeah, but it's not Eddard, it's Sansa now, is it?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's the difference. If they actually fear the consequences of Winterfell fucking putting down the law, where Eddard would be someone that would do it. Like Lady Dustin goes in the books about it. Even Bruce Bolton said that I would never have done this with Eddard. Even the common folk say that things just like petty crime on the roads would never happen with Eddard Stark because they would deal with it.
Yeah.
Where I don't think John or Sansa have that form of authority, so I think that's where problems can arise. But maybe that'll be problems after the Battle of the White Walkers when shit's finished. But then
we
they'll
won't
pick up
see
the
all
pieces.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from that, do you have something, Blue?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was just thinking about Ned's old rule: that who passes the sentence must swing the sword. Will Sansa have to kill anybody?
No.
No.
I imagine she'll get Breen to do it, or Arya will do it.
But
I don't
wasn't in
think the
episode
rule
at all
was
either.
ever intended for daughters so much as it was for sons.
yeah, but if she's the lady of the castle, then
Yeah, but
it'll just be interesting. To see
she's been, for most of her mature life, she's been trained by Cersei, who's had that kind of King's Landing sort of mentality towards it, where the men have been brought up in, like, to go by Eddard's principles, where the women weren't. They're not that sort of, it's not the same mentality as that kind of thing.
Other than maybe on Bear Island. Might be the one exception to that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, dribbling on about all that for...
Bran the cunt arrives.
Yes, Bran arrives and sort of goes, "Hey, Sansa."
Yeah, he's basically just an asshole.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect, because I was scared that they were going to do this whole thing about... They made it quick. Sansa going, like, "You're the rightful lord," and him just going, "No. I'm way above fucking lordship of this bloody place." Like,
I just find it funny, like, what you just said there, so it's like the comparison of this versus the Jon and Sansa reunion. Jon and Sansa, how much emotion was in that? Then in this, he's like, "Hi, Sansa. What's up?"
Yeah, I think it's fitting, though. It's I wouldn't call it bad or wrong or anything.
No, it's fitting, but, like, it's one of those moments where, like, as they're building up and, like, they first see each other, you're like, "Oh, this is going to be an intense moment," and then it just falls flat, and you're like...
Yeah, oh. the scenes that followed with him at the Were Tree and recalling her wedding day and her dress and everything. I get the vibe that he's been training all the way that he's been traveling and stuff with the powers and everything. He's become a lot more jaded and focused. The only thing that is important is the White Walkers. The only thing that's important is my training. The only thing that's important is
like
the
Jon next level in terms of obsessed with White Walkers.
He's no longer Brandon Stark.
He's not Brandon Stark.
He's the Three-Eyed Raven now. He is. Yeah. He's not the same person. It's very similar to arc than what all the Stark characters have gone through, where they're not the same person. They have a different identity. Only Jon and Sansa have kind of kept to their identities, where if you look at everyone else, they adapted very quickly and changed.
Yeah.
Arya is no one.
No, she's Arya Stark of Winterfell.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm going home.
Get the fucking thing right. She's no longer no one.
Yeah.
I know.
At the Heartrees, I'm hoping more flashbacks from Brandon if we have scenes at the...
I was sitting there
when
going,
he looked at the face.
When I was just going, like, 20 pound, turn around, I was sitting there just like bouncing on my chair. Are they gonna do it? And they skipped. I'm like, fuck!
Yeah, he just looks at the face. You're like, reach for it, do it.
Do it again, Brandon. Look at it again, Brandon. We'll have a look. No, we'll definitely have more flashbacks.
I want to see Rhaegar. Show me him.
There's not going to be any other scenes with Brandon. I don't see him leaving the gods with much.
No.
I see him like...
No, but you're going to see him in using his being a walk, those abilities, and you kind of get the idea that he's scouting with ravens and stuff through the previews of the actual season before it came out.
Yeah.
But it's essentially just going to be him in that wheelchair and whatever his name is coming and spoon feeding him, and then that'd be it.
I imagine Sansa will at some point become concerned that Brandon's not left the fucking Wolfswood in so long. But yeah, flashbacks, we could call with that, like I said before, with Tawny Harrenhal. After that, it skips to Jorah being cured of grayscale after filleting him, essentially, with some kind of paste, which...
I was a bit disappointed with that. It's just like...
It was a bit
So
quick,
the cure is you just got to peel it off.
Yeah.
Like, really?
The cure is you've got to peel it off, and I assume it's the dragon paste that did it. I assume he grounded up dragon glass or something. There's got to be a connection there, right?
No idea.
Well, he mentioned some kind of paste.
Yeah, I didn't catch what it was called.
Some kind of ointment. He didn't necessarily explain what it was, but it has to be dragon glass or something.
That's
like
what it should have been, but
in it.
I'm still backing the idea that it is dragon glass involved.
Well, it went for all those things. It was all those books. It's very subtle, but it has to be. That has to be the Achilles heel to it. You can cut it all off, but if you don't apply the dragon glass fucking healing ointment crap, then it just comes back again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and fucking get infected while you're at it. Which I like that bit with the handshake at the end when Jorah sort of seemed to hesitate for a second, and then did it anyway.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if Sam gets crazy.
I'd laugh so hard if Jorah gets back the Dragonstone and he's like, ah, shit, it's all over my hands again.
That's a meeting I'm looking forward more than Jon and Tyrion. I just want to see Jorah back at Dragonstone by Dany. And, I want to see him in some fucking awesome fucking Targaryen Kingsguard armor and being like a commander.
He's going to come back and go, Dany, I'm oh shit. He's then just notice Jon screwing her. He's just going to be like, no!
While screwing her while he's fucking waving Longclaw with one hand.
Yeah. I was like, oh, hello.
That's my sword.
But with Dany actually in possession, I wonder if she's going to go, well, that's Jorah's sword. It's technically his house sword. You don't have the right to that.
No,
Jorah
would refuse. No. Jorah would refuse it anyway.
Well, yeah, Jorah would refuse it for us first, and she doesn't know that it's Longclaw. She doesn't know what it is. It's got a wolf pommel on it. What does she know about Valyrian steel blades or anything like that?
Tyrion
might, but and I don't think she's really think she'd be stupid enough to go, I'm taking your Valyrian steel sword.
But also,
I mean, all her other allies are gone.
That's the point.
I'm taking your sword.
during the preview, which we'll get to later, he's
inside of me.
Shut up.
But Jon's gonna know that why Jorah was stripped of his title by now. Yeah. It's not something else. That would be like big news in the North, especially for someone like Jon.
Yeah, all the North knows that.
I wonder, with him knowing that Jorah's helped with freeing slaves and all that, Jon will just go, well, he kind of earned the right for it.
Oh, I fully suspect that if they meet, Jon will offer him the sword.
Because I want to see Jon with a Lightbringer. I want to see him with a proper Lightbringer.
No, I suspect
I don't want Lightbringer to be Longclaw. I do not want Lightbringer. I would be so disappointed.
So I always want like Bran summons Dark Sister out of his arse.
I really hope the Dark Sister actually. Well, it's probably not anymore. But I'm really disappointed that it wasn't involved.
I mainly wanted to show up so that I can buy it from Valyrian Steel and have it on my wall. But anyway, yeah. If they meet, I suspect that Jon will offer it. I doubt Jorah will accept. The next bit is the cutscene to the Unsullied taking Castle Rock and Tyrion explaining with the sewers thing in the flashback.
I'll let you lot bitch about that first.
I ain't got much to bitch about it. It's just the short amount of time that it happens. I would have liked to see more of it, but that's the general vibe from, like I said before, the Whispering Woods, Oxcross. We just sort of saw the beginning, saw the gist of it, sort of skimmed over it a bit, you know. And then they get raped by the Iron Fleet at the end. And do you two have anything to bitch about it, or?
I thought it was fine. It was what it could have been. It could have been more, but I don't have any issues.
I would like to see more. I don't have any complaints.
Like, it would have been cooler if it was like following Grey Worm as he broke in and everything, rather than having a weird voiceover, like narrating it.
I liked Tyrion's sort of explanation for it. I just would like to see more of the like fight on the wall, maybe. And
yeah. I do like the fact that like it's this is a really cool scene, like all these new characters having a cool scene, and it's like towards the end it's like and Euron steals it.
Yeah, they just see the giant catapults just fuck up the fleet. My notes literally says gets raped by Greyjoy fleet.
You're not allowed a cool scene without Euron just coming in and taking it.
Yeah,
he owns Game of Thrones right now.
I'll be really sad when he dies, to be honest. But yeah, I mean,
with Castle Rock, it kind of goes with the Reach as well. I don't care about these battles. I wanted it to be over quickly. I would have been satisfied with them just entering and not even showing them fighting. It's not the key things that I did like was the history repeating itself with Euron Greyjoy coming into the lands of Fort Bay and burning the fleet. It made sense. I was reading general discussion on TWC about people bitching. Well, it's only been 1 week, or well, what's up with the time frame? Like, people just don't seem to understand the time frame of this thing isn't how they think it is.
It's fucking old news, that, isn't it?
Weeks and months go in between things. Wars do not happen with this week we're going to fight this battle, next week we'll fight this battle. It doesn't happen like that.
Aegon's conquest took like 2 years. Just, as a point of reference. Fucking the War of Five Kings took like 2 and a bit, almost.
Exactly. It's a long drawn out process. So the show has to cut it down. But the show's kind of fucked itself by saying, oh, it's only going to be this amount of episodes left and this amount of seasons. Yeah. So they kind of force themselves into this structure of throwing the story at us quickly. It's like season 5 all over again, where they're doing it very quickly. But yeah, it was the Euron Greyjoy thing. I like just them showing emphasis on how strong he is and how much of a badass he is. It's just they didn't need to show another naval battle, but just showing the ships come in and his flagship there, just in the on the vanguard of the attack. That's just perfect.
Yeah.
The voiceover, I didn't like too much. It was a bit unnecessary.
Well, next up, the bulk of the Lannister army that wasn't at Castle Rock essentially walks up the Highguard and takes it.
We had the badass team up of Jaime Lannister, Bronn, and Randall Tarley.
Yeah, all up front.
And Dickon Tarley, I suppose, as well. He's also there. Yeah. Dickon Tarley, he's there too.
Rickon Tarley? Who?
Rickon Tarley. Yeah. Dickon Tarley. Dick Tarley? Rick Tarley?
I don't know.
Bob Tarley?
The other
Samwell.
One. The other one's not important. I don't know.
They literally did the walk up, skip the battle, he's in.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been overly impressed by Castle Rock doesn't look like Castle Rock, or Highgarden doesn't look necessarily like Highgarden, but
they look the same.
It's high, and there was a garden around
it. High and had trees.
Genuinely, when I first saw it, when it cut to the clip of the army marching towards it and turned to what they were marching towards, I thought they were marching towards Castle Rock, because it looks almost identical to the Castle Rock they showed just a few scenes earlier. Like, without them being side by side, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference until
you can't expect them to do Book Highgarden. Book Highgarden is like fucking free inner curtain walls and.
But like, they could have at least not made them both white stone or something. Like, do something to distinguish them.
They're using real castles for these shots, so they're not like prop sets or anything. It's kind of hard to find a legitimate looking Highgarden from the books, so I can forgive them for how the castles look. I would like, I suppose, a lot of the battles is the reason they've skipped over it. We'll have some more battles, maybe next episode of the other one, so it's not too bad. I'm not too fussed.
One thing I don't like, which is mentioned in here, as Jaime goes to Olenna, he has Widow's Well now?
Yeah, apparently.
Did they go over that at all? Was that ever mentioned before?
That's the first time they've...
it's the first time they mentioned it, but...
Yeah.
Where's Oathkeeper?
Oathkeeper's with Bran.
Oh, yeah, Oathkeeper's with Bran, yeah.
But why haven't they mentioned the fact that Jaime suddenly has his son's Valyrian steel sword?
Oh, where else?
Like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with the fact that it's happened, but like, why didn't they explain it?
I suppose they've explained it.
They have explained it. They've just done it. It's a nice way as well, just from the third game while he was a bit of a cunt naming it with as well. Like, but it's not something that's really that big of a deal, because it would have gone to Jaime after.
It makes sense. I've no issue.
Like, it's a little nitpick. Like, I would like to see like just a scene with Cersei or something, as like she tells him to take it. And like he like kind of tries to refuse or whatever, because he's like, no, it's my son's sword and everything. She's like, no, have it. But
I don't think Jaime would turn it down for a second. He didn't exactly love, he didn't exactly like Joffrey. He might like the other two. Marcella and Tommen a lot more so than Joffrey ever. The other bit's just Lady Tyrell, Lena poisoned and admits to killing Joffrey as a final fuck you to Cersei.
I did not realize that was the reveal of that in the show.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. They revealed it with.
I think the audience.
Talking to
the audience already knew. It was the reveal of it to the Lannisters.
Okay.
Yeah, but
the audience already knew.
But they hinted it with Baelish and Sansa, and then Olenna admitted it to Marjorie, saying, "I'm not going to make you marry someone."
In the books, they've never confirmed who killed Joffrey.
Oh, right. Okay. Because I was going to say, like, I feel like I've known this forever. My friends were all, like, super shocked. Like, oh, it was her.
Nah, it's always been a sort of, yeah, she did it kind of thing.
Yeah, but like, a lot of things are saying, like, people thinking that's not what it's going to be like in the books. That's not who killed him in the books. Like, that could be a change they made in the show to try and make Olenna and Peter seem more dangerous. But
who do we think killed her in the books?
I think Baelish did in the books. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. But yeah, I like the reveal, but I think I like the fact that she waited and asked for like how the poison's going to affect her and all that kind of stuff, and then drank it and then, oh, right, this is what happened. I think that's going to make Cersei angry that she can't, that she was allowed a like peaceful kind of.
Yeah, that's why she did
respect,
it.
like
exactly why she did it. It pissed her off.
That's the entire episode right there, right?
That is the entire episode, yes. Do you want to go over favourite scenes for this, and we'll do the previews?
Sure.
Who wants to go first? Shall I go first? Alright, I'll go first, and you can't think of something. You won't have long to think of it, which is why I'm doing the monologue before I go over. I want to say the Euron Greyjoy calling Theon a cunt, because that was fucking hilarious, but probably the bit with Tyrion and Jon, just so much with Tyrion and Jon, all of it with Tyrion and Jon, and the bit on the cliff with the, come out here to brood, and you make me look bad at brooding. Because the Starks are always, you know, broody sort of thing people. I just like Peter Dinklage and Harrington.
I think for an overall scene, I'd agree with that thing where he comes out for brooding, but a finger in the bum? that just steals it.
Luma's a simple man.
Simple
man with simple
Euron
tastes.
just steals the show for me. Euron absolutely dominates this at the moment. He's by far the best character.
Oh yeah, I do love him. Blue?
So I just really love the Starks, and I really like that emotional return. So I'm gonna say Bran returning, and then this followed up by the conversation they had. You know, first it was like the emotional, like the family reconnection, and then it was, you know, Bran being like, I need to talk to Jon, and then talking to Sansa about these things. And I'm starting to like Bran now, and I never really cared before. So that's it.
Para?
pretty much on the same. But just that whole hype towards Bran revealing Jon's true identity.
Yeah.
There was everything else was kind of expected, but Bran just saying it like that, it just got me all excited on that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be £20 reveal just so he can get his information together.
I think Jon's going to like conveniently not go to Winterfell for ages. He's going to eventually go north, but you know, he's just going to go straight to the wall. He's not going to go to Winterfell.
Bran will tell anyone else before telling Jon, or
no, he'll tell Jon first.
No.
He'll keep it to himself until he sees Jon.
Yeah.
Hell, if he gets really powerful, he could just sort of
tell
contact
him.
Jon.
Alright, so episode 4.
Yes, episode 4 with the previews, which I do have notes for as well. So essentially, it starts off with the Iron Bank and Cersei promising the gold, and then shots with Jaime's with the gold, which we assume is taken from Highgarden.
Do you want my theory on this?
Yes, we will start on Para's theory for this. Go ahead.
Right, just because of everything else about young Griff and Griff disappearing and being melded into other characters, and with Cersei being completely out of character and actually paying the Iron Bank back, I'm 98% sure that they're going to introduce the Golden Company as just a sellsword company, and Cersei's going to be the one that owns it. And if that's going to be to take, and this is especially because I think episode 4 is going to be the Field of Fire 2.0, and where she's going to lose a shitload of troops, obviously because of Dany just going, right, fuck you, I'm going to burn all of you. So she's going to need more men to deal with the remaining forces, and the Golden Company, it's going to be a large enough sellsword company, and she'll have the funds to do so. Because if you go to a bank and you wipe out, 10, 20 years worth of fucking debt straight like that, they're going to give you more money. Financially, it makes sense. And I think, and sellswords will be the first thing you want to get, and Golden Company is the thing that you would want.
Well, then do we get our thing where a random guy with blue hair just walks past?
We were joking about that. Just fucking some guy standing next to Cersei with blue hair and just go, Griffin! And just stabbing her in the chest.
Part of me really wants this to happen, but just so that the Golden Company, where first of all, for people that haven't read the books, the Golden Company is a sellsword company in Essos, which is founded by exiled Targaryen bastards, let's say.
Blackfires.
Yeah, Blackfires, which is a cadet branch of the Targaryens. It's easier just to tell them that they're Targaryen bastards. They haven't showed up in the books. They probably won't, but Para thinks they will now. Or at least the company will. The sellsword company will, not the actual...
I don't think Aegon or Connington's going to show up. Maybe they might even just do a nod and say, either show Harry Strickland or Connington as the Lords.
Yeah.
of that, because the Stormlands has been left uninvolved. So if you went to the Golden Company and say if Connington, it would make, story-wise in the TV show it is now, going to the Golden Company and going, well, the Stormlands isn't being ruled over anyone. So Lord Connington, I will name you Lord Paramount of the Stormlands, and I'll pay you a shitload of money, and you can rule over the Stormlands if you bring over the Golden Company and fight for me. It makes sense, especially with the scheming and political landscape Jaime Lannister and Cersei have been creating. With
especially after the Field of Fire, it would make some strategic sense to hire sellswords if you have the coin. But see, I want this to happen now, and the Golden Company to show up, and then to take the Stormlands, and then just to go, Griffin! Fucking stab them in the chest, and then at one point some dude with some kid with silver hair pulls out Blackfire and goes, kick fucking, Blackfire, fucking fire and blood and shit. It just, yeah.
Aegon's only interesting in the books because of the build-up Tyrion and he had with one ship.
It's not going to happen. Then young Griff is not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't want to see him at this point now. Like, it's gone too far.
It's ruined.
But they do keep making nods to things in the books and like such major things that they've missed out. And I think this would be something similar, where they introduce it. But they have mentioned the Golden Company with Stannis and other people saying that it's essentially the largest company out there. I think that even Viserys mentions them.
Mm.
Yeah.
If they show up, it will. I mean, I did laugh my fucking ass off if it showed up and young Griff actually appeared.
Even Jorah mentions it. Danny.
Well, we'll see what that happens. It'll be cool if it fucking does. Even if it's just a nod or a cameo to.
I've been right on every theory so far, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
You heard it here first, folks.
I'm pretty fucking sure it's going to happen.
You heard it here first. You get a shot of the Valyrian dagger, Baelish's one, which is also in Sam's books.
Yep. Oh, you're just going to kill Littlefinger. Another theory that
we did see it. We did see it. We did confirm she has the dagger, doesn't she?
Yep, and I.
Do you think she just kills him?
I think Arya will definitely be returning to Winterfell next episode.
We've seen there's a shot of her at Winterfell.
Is there?
Yes.
I haven't actually seen the previews.
Yeah.
She's a shot of her on a horse.
She's in the preview with Winterfell in the background, looking out of Winterfell. So yeah,
even perfect. So I think this episode 4 will be her going into detail about Littlefinger and what happened with Ned and all that kind of shit, and about the dagger because she was sort of there for bits of it.
Yeah.
Where Littlefinger was coming into a room and she was there, and same with what's his name, the guy from Night's Watch. I think she will kind of just push Sansa going into, look, you need to remove this fucker right now. Mm. And then episode 5 it'll be
stabby.
Killing him with his own dagger, and then I've got a feeling that dagger's somehow going to go into Jon's possession before he goes north. So I think Jon might go to Winterfell.
It'd be really nice if she gave him the dagger and it saved his life at some point beyond the wall, similar to how he gave her a needle and it saved her life so many times. I just like that. Kind of.
I just want to see Jon and Arya, who are my two favorite characters by far.
Yes, that's the next meeting I want to happen. Tyrion and Jon was the current one. Next is I want Jon to reunite with Arya.
I try.
So with episodes, so the Field of Fire, the Reach army and the Lannister army getting absolutely fucking wrecked by Dany.
Then the next scene is Dany saying, "Enough with the clever plans," insinuating that she will instead do some stupid plans. Which is just going to be fire! Use the dragons! All of them!
That's where I think Jon's just going to go, right, you have these 3 dragons, why the fuck are you not just using them? Just destroy the armies? Don't destroy King's Landing, but destroy the armies? But that's where I think
he's gonna reaccount the Field of Fire. Bring up the fact the Field of Fire and what the Aegon did with all 3 dragons in the Reach. And, subtly mention you can do this again kind of thing.
Because, the Lannister men are in the Reach.
If there's a time to bring up the Field of Fire, I don't know if they've already mentioned it at all on the show, probably not. But if there's a time to bring up the Field of Fire and what happened with Aegon during the Conquest and everything, that would be the time to mention it.
Yeah, so I think it will be next episode, and with that, I think last episode, Jaime and Randall will actually do a lot of damage to Dany's forces as well.
Yeah,
I think they're prepared for it.
They won't be pushovers, definitely not.
And I think that's because we've seen in the previews of pretty much every essential character, everyone meeting at the Dragon Pit. I would imagine that'd be episode 5 with all these important characters going, right, well, none of us have armies anymore.
Yeah, we've all fucked everybody. The next shot is Theon returning to Pike, in which Jon is going to beat his fucking skull in a bit, and I'm pretty sure his men are just going to let him do it.
To Dragonstone, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, Dragonstone. It says Pike on my notes. I was being rushed. Theon returns to fucking Dragonstone. Yes, Dragonstone. Dragonstone!
Like,
yeah, he returns to fucking Dragonstone, and Jon beats his ass up as well. I'm gonna... His men are just going to let him do it. They aren't going to stop him. The next one is Arya arrives at Winterfell, which we've already covered, and a shot of Sansa sighing, seeming sort of somewhat distressed at a table with 2 people standing in front of her, which we can't see.
Okay.
I think that's going to be maybe possibly the consequences of Littlefinger getting killed.
Maybe.
Or it'll be, because they made hints at civil war and fucking North, it might be the Karstark girl and the Umber boy complaining about food rations or whatever.
I see. I saw the Sansa sighing and the 2 people thing is somebody's complaining. Something is not going how she planned it to go. Something has gone wrong or something. And I somewhat linked that back to the whole demanding food from all of the people and sort of the mentality that she had of we're all going to be retreating to Winterfell or some bollocks like that. Somebody's going to be pissy at somebody, basically. But it ends there, pretty much. But the next episode's the battles, which is nice.
Next episode, they built up for the need for a battle, so it's definitely going to happen next episode, I'm 100% sure. Do you want to do the comments for last episode?
Are there any comments? Yep, we can read out any if you want
to. You did it last time, so you can do it this time.
Can I? Do I have that pleasure?
I grant you the privilege.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Like I said, you're welcome.
I'm just waiting for it to load. Go for it, 122. What I want is for Dany to pull a Visenya. Have I asked Jon to go for a walk and just casually go, Jon, go for a walk, mate. And be like, and then have one of the dragons try to scare him. So she turns to Jon and goes, go for a walk, mate. Turns to Sarah and goes, hide around the corner. And when he walks around, go, boo! And the dragon actually likes him. They have loads of children. Not the fucking bit. Also, Tyrion asks who Davos is. They've done that now. And then ask if Jon has any other Kingsmen, only for Jon to say he has Peter. And then everyone's like, shit. And then it cuts to Arya going home. I have no idea what that means.
Well,
one interesting bit.
Basically, the starting bit about dragons and Jon.
The starting bit about dragons and Jon is the main bit there, and it's in character with what the leaked script said. I'm pretty sure I swear the leaked script would just been basically correct up to this point. It mentioned Jon petting Drogon or something, and Drogon liking him and surprising Dany.
It's also kind of happened with him being scared shitless with them flying over. That happened.
Yeah.
But what he's asking about Jon is about like who else is loyal to him apart from the Northerners, and the fact that they missed out on the Vale being part of the North is a bit of a
true. They didn't mention that at all, actually.
And I really want to see that fucking discussion with Varys just going Varys just going, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you have Littlefinger with you? I thought I was so sure that was going to happen this episode. I'm surprised it didn't.
Varys needs to bring up the fact, tell Dany about Ned Stark, because she's going to bring that up again at some point, and Varys needs to correct him. And Varys will be the one that mentions about Littlefinger. He has to be. If anyone's going to warn Jon about Littlefinger, it's got to be Varys. You want to go next comment?
All right.
I have one from Lord Sophus Coperud. I love this shit.
Okay.
Thank you. So do I.
Let's not let Lou breathe anymore.
Stephen, I think the point you made about the food supplies at the Rock will ring true. Is they already mentioned the fact that they've taken all the grain supplies. Jamie did. Talking about throwbacks, don't know if we remember the conversation between Bronn and Tyrion and Varys during shortages, those with food will become the richest men in town. He says he thinks Tyrion will remember this conversation after he takes the Rock, and have a bit of bittersweet irony. They kind of had. I think it's more so just Tyrion at the moment. It seems like he's realised his plan is fucked up. Rather than that, but the food shortage bit is true. Like, Castle Rock is worthless.
Well, it's worthless because they can't hold it, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, well, as well as the mines are dry, they said in the show, and James taking all the grain supplies. So the fuck, as well as they're blockaded at port, and I imagine being held within the castle as well.
I don't imagine Euron Greyjoy would be too bothered about shooting up Castle Rock a bit with some catapults and claiming that Tyrion did it.
Callum Dixon says, Bran won't break the spell on the wall. Mark, clearly his mark has done fuck all to the wall.
Yeah, we'd have heard about that by now.
Sansa is a whining and horrible character with terrible dialogue. You have never said something so true in your life, sir. Were the Dornish army on the ships? And
Yes.
Were they?
Yeah. No, they weren't.
No, because I thought the ships were going down to go get them.
Varys stated that they were, or was he just referring to the fleet?
No, he's referring to the ships and basically the commanders of Dorne. That's what we were saying last time is the Dornish armies aren't destroyed, but they have no leader. And why would all the lords just go, well, let's just march through the Reach and towards King's Landing? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, so he's saying, can't they still come up through the pass? They could, but the show was not going to tackle that. It's going to ignore that fact.
Yeah, there's nobody in Dorne that could mount that sort. Even like
they haven't introduced. If they introduced the Yornwoods before, they could have. But no, the show's going to ignore Dorne.
Yeah, like the only person that would be he wouldn't even be able to rally the full force. He'd be able to rally the the mountain Dornish, the stone Dornish, or what the fuck they call themselves, and that'd be it. He wouldn't be able to get the rest of the Dornish forces, so it'd be splitting the army in like a third. And I'm already predicting people in the comments going, it's not Yornwood, it's Ironwood.
Fuck off.
No, it's Yornwood.
It's fucking Yornwood. Piss off. I don't give a shit about people that fucking say that. I'm like, no, fuck you.
Even George R. R. Martin says he just doesn't care how people pronounce it. So.
No, it's Yornwood. I care. Get it right.
Hardwood, softwood.
I still get comments about that, to which I reply along the lines of, I don't fucking give a shit. I know that it's supposed to be that.
Well, you still get comments talking about House Blackfrey.
I changed that entire series to the Black Frames, didn't I? I haven't got any comments in like a year, so...
My favourite comment is that not human. You're on Greyjoy. One could not come so hard.
That's 2 videos in a row. He's posted that.
He's not wrong. So.
He's not wrong. It's going to be
as we've said, Euron Greyjoy has stolen this season. It's his season.
And the thing is, he's not like a guy you love to hate, like say Joffrey and Ramsay and anything. He's just a guy you fucking love. Where you
he's
really,
the MVP.
Really
he's the
shouldn't.
awesome guy for this season so far.
But like fuck Danny, fuck John, he's the hero at the moment.
I'm rooting for him.
He just takes the normal mold and he's just broken it. The mold for a character you'd expect. But he doesn't have an evil vendetta ever. He's just a bit of a fucking psycho.
Yeah. See, I'm really hoping he just betrays everyone at some point.
Oh, he's going to betray Cersei for sure.
He's going to become the king.
He just wants to fuck her first, and then he'll. See, there's the whole thing about Euron Greyjoy being Euron Greyjoy being the freaking being the Valar, whatever the hell, younger brother.
Hi.
No, the younger brother.
Yeah.
For the prophecy.
It refers to a young sibling.
Yeah, with strangling Cersei and his comment about 2 good hands.
Oh.
Does she like it rough?
No, does she like it rough? It's going to be too rough. Euron will not care. He'll keep going.
Fuck's sake.
Last time we ended it on bestiality. Now we're ending it on fucking Euron Greyjoy screwing a corpse.
You're on Greyjoy.
Come back next week.
In Anal Fiends 4.
Yep.
No, not anal fiend. He said finger up the bum. That's a bit different than sticking your dick
He's
up.
an anal fiend. Alright, well, unless we've got anything else to add, we'll wrap it up there. Alright.
Yeah, can't think of anything.
We'll end it on the note of screwing the corpse and anal fiends. That's that's fine. As good a place to end it as any.